Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am really excited to try out the Rare Beauty foundations that everyone is raving about. I did watch a few reviews, so I'm keeping in mind those reviews, and because of that I did not get a concealer. I'm not really interested in the concealer. I'm mostly interested to see how this can work for my skin. And then I also purchased one of their matte liquid blushes in the color Love. I think this is like the color that I thought would be like a good everyday color, assuming that, I find a right match and I can combine this as like an everyday natural type of look. Because I know that like for this type of foundation, it was more so like to have like a natural skin-like finish. So let's see how this goes. I prepped my skin just like any other day, no new products. I want to try it on my skin with just like what I already have as my everyday skincare routine, and I'm going to be using my everyday primer, which is the Fenty matte primer, and I'm going to swatch these two on my chest, but I'm also going to try to match it as close as possible to my everyday foundation at the moment, which is the Infallible 24-Hour Foundation, color 490. I got the color 310W and 350C. I wasn't sure what color to choose because the Sephora website was trying to color match me and it recommended 350C. But then there's this YouTuber I follow and she has a similar skin tone than me. Like she uses this foundation, and she's like almost on the same color range as me. She is 485. And sometimes she does 490. It's not a large or huge difference. So, and she uses 310 warm. So I was like, whatever, I'll just get both. I'll swatch them on my chest and see which one might be a better fit. And I'll just have this one right in the middle just so we can be able to compare. All right, let's get to swatching. This is actually let me shake this. This is 310 warm. And I'll be putting this right here. Okay. All right. So far, if I blend it out, it'll probably like blend in pretty well to my chest. My chest and my face, they are pretty light in comparison to the rest of my body, like my arms maybe, just because the sun hits it a little bit more than my chest. I don't know. I'm always wearing t-shirts and stuff, so that's probably why. And then this is my everyday 490 L'Oreal foundation. So let's just put that right here. Yeah, I think that my everyday foundation color does match much closer to me. And again, this is 310 warm. So let's take a look at now the 350 cool, 350C. And let's see what it does. Oh, I think 350C actually is a closer match, but it's not an exact match. And 350C is the foundation that was recommended to me by the Sephora color matching website. So, I wonder if it kind of like, if it dries a bit darker. We'll wait a second. In the meantime, I'll just do what I always do, which is apply my mattifying primer. I hear that this is like an oilier type of foundation, and so I think this mattifying primer is fine to apply with, to combine, with this foundation. Okay, I feel like this one is definitely what I'm going to be trying, the 350C. Definitely not 310W, so good thing I bought both just to make sure. And let me just really quick just remove it. Oof, it's gonna like leave a reddish, yep, look, it left a red mark. My skin is sensitive. Speaking of my sensitive skin, let me just give you guys like a little bit of, like a background about my skin type. So it's, I believe, a combination. When I feel like it gets dry, but then I do get a lot of oils here in my T-zone area throughout the day. So that's why I do wear or do apply a matte primer. And I do have a, I mean, I'm brown, so I am kind of like, someone who will have discoloration in different parts of my face. And so also I do get a lot of redness. I feel like you can totally tell. Yeah, you can totally tell how I have redness. And then I do break out. So for the most part, I try not to pick at it. But this time, unfortunately, I fell for it, and I have two scars right here that I definitely should not have done. But let's definitely see how this foundation covers. I'm not really trying or hoping that this foundation is going to do any kind of full coverage. Again, this is more on like the medium / buildable coverage, and I don't really want this foundation to be a full coverage ever. I want this to be like a clean, natural type of everyday foundation. So let's just, and I did wash my face, so my skin is clean right now. I definitely am someone who, if I'm gonna apply makeup, oh, cat hair. I already have a cat hair here. Oh my god. I am someone that if I apply makeup, I wash my face right before. So I'm okay with the fact that this foundation comes with this type of applicator. Maybe if I was like, not really that, I guess, clean, I would definitely be concerned, and maybe I would just kind of first put it here on my hand, and then from here put it onto me, onto my skin. But I think I'm not upset about it. And I'm going to be applying it with my sponge because I do sometimes use brushes, but honestly I prefer sponges, so I want to see how this sponge works with this foundation and the application of it. Okay, first impressions is I think this is a pretty close match. Like in person, looking at myself in the mirror, like this color does not look at all like it's too light or too, neutral or anything like that, or cool, because this is 350C. I usually reach for like a warm golden type of undertone foundation, but I mean, I think this matched me pretty well, actually. Shout out to Sephora's site. All right, so this is one layer, and I'm actually really pleased. I think with one layer, I get the coverage that I want. Again, my coverage desire for this foundation is just, a lightweight, skin-like, natural type of look, or type of coverage. So I'm actually really happy. And then I'm gonna put some on my neck just so that I usually do put foundation on my neck just so that there's some type of, smooth transition here, in case the matching is not like 100% on point. Okay, it's definitely a bit dewier than my L'Oreal one, but not dewier in like a nasty way. Sometimes you kind of look a little too oily, and you need to really find ways to mattify things or mattify your face. But in this case, it's like a natural, healthy type of glow almost. Yeah, I really like it. I feel like it's still me, like my natural self, almost like my no makeup self, but obviously not. And again, I did not get a concealer. I was just not interested. The reviews was saying it's just a little too creamy, a little too moisturizing or oily, and I need something that is a bit more on the drying end. They said that it kind of doesn't really dry, and I'm someone who likes to put on a concealer under the eyes and then let it set while I do my brows. so that as it like dries down a little bit, it gives it more coverage for when I blend it in with my sponge. And it didn't look like that was something that this concealer was gonna do for me. I watched Jackie Aina's video, and she kind of went in depth in that, so you guys should definitely check hers out. But yeah, I was like, like it's fine. Like I'm not about to waste my money. I know what I like. And so I'm just gonna go in with my everyday concealer, which is in the color Biscuit. And let's just do this. I really hope that this concealer works well with this foundation, because I honestly would choose this concealer over anything else. I think it really helps me with color correcting without having to actually go and get an orange color corrector. I think that's just like an extra step that I'm a bit too lazy to do nowadays. Definitely also, you know, the foundation did not fully cover my scars, which I expected, and I'm not like disappointed about. Like that's just bound to happen. It's fine. And boom. All right, y'all, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna put on my brows and then I'll continue on with this review. All right, y'all. I think I am, for the most part, okay with these brows. So let's get back to the review now. All right, so I did already blend in the concealer that I had here in my chin area, and it blended in beautifully, so very happy so far. And now let's just get to this part right here. Okay, oh, cat hair, yep, cat hair. I am seeing that it's blending beautifully, and so I'm so relieved because I really am enjoying this foundation so far, but I think it would have, you know, killed it for me if my everyday concealer wasn't gonna work with this. Oh yeah, okay, this is great. It's doing it. Yeah, and I'm just like looking at myself in the mirror as I'm doing the blending. I'm seeing that the product is not breaking apart or, you know, looking like it shouldn't look like this. Like it's looking very natural. It's looking like it's all blending in just really well. Okay. Happy so far, I'm happy. I'm just gonna go in with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. And I know that Rare Beauty also has a setting spray, but I mean, I'm happy with mine. So if I ever kind of get bored of my setting spray, then I'll probably give that Rare Beauty one a try. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my everyday like contour bronzer type of foundation stick from Juvia's place, and it's in the color Namibia. And I'm gonna try out this liquid blush, so let's get to it. So something subtle, because I definitely, when I want to have a natural look, I don't want this to be I don't want this at all to be like intense. It's more so just to like bring in some warmth, especially because like this part of my face is like lighter than the rest of my body, so I just kind of want to even it out. I want to, you know, make things make sense. So, and then just blending it in with this Morphe brush. Trying to be light. I'm seeing that, I mean, this foundation is working great with the products that I do use on an everyday basis. Or I'm not everyday basis, because I don't wear makeup every day. I feel like no one does nowadays. You know, what's the point? But when I do wear makeup, these are my, you know, products. And I'm being very light. I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I am kind of light-handed for the most part, I think. This is the Morphe M173 brush. I just use this to contour my nose. And it kind of like squeeze it like this, and just a line. I do struggle with this. Maybe I should get like a different brush, but this will work for now. Hopefully I'm like being even about this. If not, whatever. And then just going back with this, and I'm just doing the blending of this. Ooh, I feel like I messed it up a little bit, but I can just go in with this concealer. Because I was feeling like I kind of made the contour a bit crooked. That's very ox. Before I put on any, setting powder, because I am going to put some on, I will be now finally trying this right here. Ooh, ooh, wow, yes, okay. I feel like I should shake it. Is that a thing? No, it's not a thing, okay. All right, very pigmented at least. That's how it looks, so let's go with a little bit and then we'll build up. So, 1, 2, boom, boom. I don't know, what if this is a lot? Oof. And then let me see, I have this brush right here. It's a setting brush, I don't really know, but I like that it's not too dense. So maybe it'll help with like blending it in like in a natural way. So let's see. Ooh. Ooh, yes. Okay. Being very gentle. I don't want to, mess up my foundation or anything that I've done to my face so far. But wow. This is so pigmented and this color is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yes. I am like being very thorough, so just because I don't really wear liquid blushes. I mean, all I really use when it comes to blush is, my everyday Catrice Iman blush palette, but I have always wanted to find a really nice, like a liquid blush, because I feel like it can give you like a nice natural flush of color. And so now that I've blended it in, I think as evenly as possible, I'm going to just go on top with just my beauty blender, just to make sure everything is blending in naturally with the rest of my colors. But this is cute. Okay, it's very red, but I like that. Not sure if it's everyone's thing, but I do like this. I feel like I'm getting a flush of like like a natural blush type of face right here, without actually blushing. Love. Okay, now I will be using my everyday setting powder. It is the Airspun Loose Face Powder, and it's just the translucent powder. And I'm just gonna do what I always do, which is I dab some of the powder onto my beauty sponge, and right before I apply this setting powder, just with like this type of brush, I gently blend in any foundation that gets in between my wrinkles, like the creases, just to make sure that when I set this, I don't set something and make it look like crusty. Okay, I'm gonna try not to put as much setting powder, just so I can be able to keep like a glow happening throughout the day. And I will definitely be reporting back to you guys though, like maybe in like 4 or 5 hours, just so we can see how this foundation set on my skin throughout the day. I am someone that when I put on makeup to go somewhere, I take it off as soon as I get home. I don't really try to have it on all day, even if I only had it on for like a couple hours. Like I rather just have like a clean face at home. It's just part of my self-care stuff. Like I feel so much better when I know that my face is clean. And then some right here, because it does get a little oily here at times. And just a light. Again, it's gonna be like a light powdering situation here. But oh, okay. Okay, just gonna quickly curl my lashes. Yeah, honest, like, okay, wait a second. This foundation looks really good. It really does look like my skin. I think it looks less of my skin right now after I put on some setting powder, but that's just because it's powder. It does kind of dry down or mattify your skin to a certain extent. But I think it still looks really good. Like it looks, I think that this foundation works amazing with the products that I want to keep as like my everyday makeup routine. So that would be my concealer, my setting powder. I'm sure that my blush palette would work really well with this foundation as well. Um, that's kind of what I always dread when I try new foundations. It's like, oh, I hope like it'll work with the other products that I already do love and want to keep as part of like my everyday routine. But yeah, like I'm really looking at my skin right now, and this is definitely a foundation I will be um, giving it like a few more tries. I think that it possibly can be like one of my go-to foundations, one of my favorite foundations. It does not at all emphasize any of my texture. I'm so happy about that. It actually might do a better job in that than this. Honestly, I think so. Um, and I'm looking at this, and I know I have to just remind myself not to pick at my face because I'm like looking at this part of my face, and I'm like, okay, like I'm really happy with this. And again, I don't expect this foundation to be full coverage to cover things like this, and I could have taken a bit more careful steps to get making sure that this stays covered with my concealer, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. Um, I'm happy. I'm gonna just put on some mascara, maybe a little bit of eyeshadow, and then spray it, set all my face with my, with my setting spray. And I'm sure it's gonna like bring back my skin or bring it back to life. So we'll see. I'm just putting in my crease my two contouring colors from the Kat Von D Light and Contour palette. It's like the one that's like a grayish undertone, and then just like a more of like a natural brown. So it's the combination of both. And just putting it here just to give me like a bit of dimension here. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try on my lips this color. I saw Bremen Rock do that, and I was like, obviously, like you should totally try that. Like, great idea. Ooh. I guess it's kind of a bad thing that this is like a matte blush, because my lips are just so dry nowadays that it might emphasize my dryness. Yeah. In person, it emphasizes it a little bit, but not too bad. It kind of like, when I'm like, as I'm rubbing it in more and more, it's looking more like a cute stain. So I like it. And now, boom. Okay. All right, what do you guys think? I think that this foundation is just exactly what I wanted out of this foundation. Coverage is amazing. Again, it doesn't fully cover like all of your imperfections, but I think that if I would have been more careful with when I applied my concealer, making sure the concealer like stayed there, because I did put on the blush and I had this brush right here, and so I was blending out the blush right where I had that scar, so that was just bound to happen. But if, you know, I think that I might even consider giving this a try with 2 layers next time, but with just 1 layer I'm so happy. And then once I sprayed my face down right now with my Make It Last spray, I think it kind of just brought my skin back to like more of a natural glow, because I did set my face a little bit as lightly as possible with my powder. And I think that powder, you know, definitely did dry me down a little bit in those spots, which is fine. That's why I did want that, because I do want to control the creasing that happens under my eyes. But yeah, I'm actually really happy, and I'm really glad that I even put some of that blush on my lips. Definitely really happy with that. I love that you can use her products and, you know, not just for what it's made for. So really happy with that, and I'm really happy that I went with the color 350C. And my everyday color, just for comparison purposes, is the 490 color in the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. So a great foundation, but I don't know, I think this might be like it for like an everyday natural type of thing that I'm gonna go out into the public, you know, and socialize, but don't want to be looking like I'm trying like too hard. But yeah, I will check in with you guys maybe in like, right now it's 10 a.m. so maybe like around 3 or 4 I'll check in, just so you guys can see with me how my skin works with this foundation throughout the day, because I do get oily, so that's bound to happen. And so I'll check in before touching up, and maybe I won't even need to touch up, but we'll see about that. And so yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, so do not mind the mess in the background. Again, we recently moved and we still have boxes and stuff out that we need to find like a home for, and that was my cat. He was like jumping off this window ledge. But this is my skin with some natural light. The sun is not really hitting into our house right now, or into our apartment right now, so it's like a semi sunlight moment here, and I think it looks pretty natural. Again, the coverage is there. I'm feeling myself. I'm definitely happy so far with what I am seeing, and so I will for sure check in later. Okay, peace. All right, you guys, it is 3:13. I have been doing a lot of chores, so I have been like sweating, and I'm like tired at this point. So I'm just gonna like take off my makeup now, but I think it has held up pretty well. I expected to get a lot oilier. I expected a lot more breaking apart of the makeup in this area right here as well, but I think for the most part it held up, and this is definitely a foundation I'm going to continue to be using, and you know, I think it might even be an everyday makeup. We'll see about that though. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this review helped you make some decisions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.